Vox and King Beau Part 16. You Are No Hunter. Like most kids with imaginary friends, Beau got blamed for the little disturbances around the house. Someone got into the cookies? Beau. Someone left the door open? Beau. Sometimes, there were things that couldn't be explained by a 6-year-old's busy mischief, like missing items or weird noises at night. The joke was that they all got blamed on Beau. Only I knew that he was behind most of those things. Beau wasn't interested in being noticed by anyone else, but he didn't mind doing as he pleased around the house, even if I was often blamed. I loved my uncle. He was the cool relative, and always took me out for ice cream and talked to me like I was a person, not a pet. These things are really important to children. I even told him about Beau, which he took as seriously as he could, and even asked Beau's opinions on little matters, without implying that Beau was in the room and invisible, which he wasn't, and I hated. Uncle Joe might actually have been the one other human Beau didn't think was worthless. As my mom's younger brother, Uncle Joe had been through a series of girlfriends. In fact, ladies, he's still single to this day, you know? Anyway, most of them I ignored, and they ignored me. Sometimes they were especially cold, but I didn't get too attached. One, however, stands out among the rest. Her name was Amber. She had long brown hair and perfect teeth. The summer Mom needed to go on some business trip or other, and Joe offered to take me and my brother to our grandparents' beach house. Of course, Amber joined us. She loved it, and acted like she was playing house, calling me adorable and wanting to play games with me. I really didn't like her. It was an instinctive reaction. Something about her was off, and I felt incredibly shy, which was really out of character for me. What strikes me is that she must have heard me playing, and at dinner asked who Beau was. I lied and told her that he was my teddy bear, and Joe never corrected me. I always thought that was nice of him. Beau was not impressed by Amber. I told him how uncomfortable she made me, and he began listing off all the things that she could be. Lots of beings, he told me, disguise themselves as humans. Some of them didn't even have to pretend. Human eyes, he said, would fill in the gaps, lie, turning these creatures into whatever it was we wanted to see. He said that if I was uncomfortable, there was likely a reason. My voice was far too important to be leaving to blind human eyes and chance. We needed to take matters into our own hands. I'm sure you can all guess that this was a bad idea. I won't bore you with the details, because they're honestly a little stupid and embarrassing for me. I did all sorts of things, like spend a day not looking directly at her, squinting from the side to see if she would change shape. I played a game where I pretended she was a monster, and went around screaming, "Amber's a monster, run!" I have to give the woman credit here. She put up with a lot more than anyone else would. And by the third day at the house, her patience was beginning to wear thin. Fearing punishment worse than even the king of the quiet place could dish out, and worse still, seeing the look of embarrassment and frustration on my uncle's face, I gave up these games. I figured if Monster Amber was going to hurt me, I would just have to wait and think of something on the spot. I'm not sure, however, that Beau gave up quite so easily. I remember hearing her yelling from the bedroom she and Joe were in. Something about how her necklace was gone, and how she was sure that I took it. I hated her, Amber said. I had it out for her. I was a creepy little kid with a fucked up imaginary friend. It was just like me to do something like that. Joe told her that was ridiculous, but he took me out to the beach a little while later, and asked me quietly if I had seen Amber's necklace. It was really important to her, and she couldn't find it. I truthfully told him that I hadn't. He then asked if Beau had done anything with it. That was the first time it really hit home that Joe didn't believe in Beau more than anyone else. He had just been humoring me. I won't bore you with all the sappy details, because I realize I'm rambling. And later that evening, after a very tense, silent supper, my brother took me out to the beach so that Amber and Joe could talk. He said I was ruining everything with my stupid fake friend. He said that Joe deserved to be happy and not have everything go wrong like Mom and Dad. I actually agreed with him. He was my older brother, and I looked up to him and loved him more than anything in the world, much more than the king of the quiet place. So Beau and I had a big fight. I accused him of taking the necklace and ruining everything. He told me that real hunters took what they wanted. The memory of what happened to Fuzzy was still fresh in my mind, and I told him nothing here belonged to him, and that he should leave. I didn't want to see him again. I didn't see him for the rest of the beach trip. When we got back, I spent most nights crying and lonely, though I tried to hide it. It seemed stupid to have broken up with my imaginary friend over a necklace. But, of course, it was more than that. Afterward, I told myself that it was time to grow up. Big kids didn't have an invisible friend. It was all fake anyway, and so there was no need to be upset. I forgot most of the stories and moved on to more important things. This, I guess, leads us back to me, the hallway, and the invisible demon before me. The mix of emotions hit me more than the specific memories. I felt ashamed, embarrassed, and sad for him, and a little for me. Whatever Beau is, whatever he isn't, I realized then, and still believe now, that I have to accept. It's just part of me, no matter what that actually means. I asked him, "Are you trying to protect me from something?"
Not you.
He spat.
Your voice belongs to me. I will not have you ruin it. There is no more time.
Look, I said, realizing that I was screwed if I didn't do some tap dancing. Why didn't you just take it in the first place, when you first met me? He closed his eyes and straightened out. My poor invisible friend looked tired. Creepy, unnatural, terrifying, but tired.
You faced me with no fear. You asked me why I was sad. I saw a part of me.
So you let me keep my voice because I was really still with you? He didn't say anything, but I took this as a yes. The silence was pressing in on me, and my nausea was creeping back with a vengeance. Trying to reason through this was making my headache throb, but I knew that this was important. I closed my eyes and tried to will myself to think. I must have looked tired too. Okay, so why didn't you take it when you left? He hissed in frustration, snapping his teeth. I gripped the shaker and closed my eyes tight. If this didn't work, I figured I could try to will my imagination away. Maybe you didn't leave? I continued. Maybe you were just waiting for something to go wrong. And now, something's gone wrong.
Enough!
His roar made me fear that my neighbors were going to come around complaining. But I still didn't open my eyes. The world was spinning a little. Just wait, okay? So, something is going wrong? You said I was like you. That means you have to trust me. I can face this thing.
You are no hunter. I tried to teach you, and you failed.
I know, I said. I was trying to keep my voice calm and even. But I don't think this is a monster, Beau. I don't think this is something you can save me from. That's why you're worried. Just because you can't handle it doesn't mean I can't. So don't give up on me, okay? Please, just trust me. Like the moon, right? You had to let her go. I waited for a response, but there was none. Slowly, I opened my eyes to find that the shadows had eased off. Sunlight was spilling in through my living room and bedroom windows. I don't actually know how long I was standing there. I don't know if this means Beau agrees with me, or understood, or if my mind just gave up on projecting him for a while, or what. But I feel calmer. I feel better knowing I faced it. Anyway, I know this sounds completely stupid. I'm probably a total sap or feeling guilty. I just can't help but feel like, in its own way, the darkness cares about me. Regardless, there's just one more day between me and Wednesday.